All right, let's talk about the Four Adorations. The Four Adorations are little mini rituals that the new aspirant in the Golden Dawn curriculum will adopt in order to attune him or herself to the cyclical nature of the sun. Now, the cyclical nature of the sun is very important for emotional, physical, and spiritual health. Okay, so we're going to go over some of the benefits of being in tune with the sun. Okay, and just to give an example of what the adorations are, here's the one that the aspirant uh, states at sunrise or upon waking up in the morning. Hail unto thee who art Ra in thy rising, even unto thee who art Ra in thy strength, who travellest over the heavens in thy bark at the uprising of the sun. Tehuti standeth in his splendor at the prow, and Ra-Hoor abideth at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of the night. And I think there's a ritual gesture that goes along with that. So you pretty much would, I think for this particular adoration, you would perform the Theoricus sign, if I'm not mistaken. And another adoration is done at noon. Another adoration is done at sunset. And another adoration is done at midnight or at sunset, or not sunset, at midnight or before going to bed. Okay. If you sleep into shifts because you have adopted the habit of going to sleep soon after the sun goes down, I talked about this in the last video where people would. Our ancient ancestors would normally sleep in two shifts because the moment the sun goes down and the blue light vanishes from the sky, lo and behold, our brains start to secrete melatonin, which makes us sleepy, makes us want to go to sleep. And so soon after the sun goes down, we would all just go to sleep. This even happened after civilization began because we still only had fire to illuminate the night, and fire has virtually no blue light in it. So when you have firelight going, and that's all, if firelight is the only light you have going, you're going to get sleepy really fast. It's natural. Okay. Now, this getting sleepy results from the secretion of melatonin in the brain. Melatonin is the most powerful antioxidant that we know of. So you're actually, when you sleep at night, your brain goes through a wash cycle. It actually shrinks up, and then the fluid goes through there and cleans out the various tissues and stuff like that, which might explain why if you haven't fully slept, if you haven't gone through a full sleep cycle yet, it can be really hard to wake up and focus on something because you can be really groggy because your brain is essentially shut down for the wash cycle. Okay, but your brain goes through 2 or 3 wash cycles a night. One wash cycle often being enough. Okay. If you can pretty much go through 1 deep sleep session per night, that's pretty good. If you can go through 2 deep sleep sessions per night, that's even better. Or 3 possibly. Okay. So usually within the first 4 hours of sleep, you've already completed a really good wash cycle for the brain. But this will only happen properly if your brain secretes enough melatonin to produce a healthy sleep cycle. And what do many of us do? We will have the television on across the room while we're going to sleep, which is showering us with blue light. We will look at our smartphones and scroll through social media, or we'll watch little YouTube videos on our smartphones, which is also blasting us with blue light. These various features on the phone that make the phone a little bit more amber or orange colored really aren't enough. You shouldn't see any blue light at all coming from your phone if you're going to be looking at it. Okay. There is a way to remove all blue light from the phone. But I'm not going to go into that here. The ultimate best biohack in my opinion, is blue blocking glasses. I used to give a presentation at the college where I work about how to increase your intelligence, but through biohacking, various biohacks that make you smarter. This is the number one biohack that makes you smarter. Okay. When the sun goes down, you put on blue blocking glasses, or you might set your alarm for 8 o'clock on your phone, and that alarm will tell you, oh, 8 o'clock at night, I put on my blue blocking glasses, and that's going to make my brain secrete melatonin and give me a healthy sleep cycle. What happens then is your brain really washes itself out very nicely because of all that melatonin secretion, and you sleep nice and deeply, and maybe have some really vivid dreams too. And when you wake in the morning, you're ready. Your brain is detoxified. Okay, so the number one thing you can do to increase your intelligence is to adopt a cycle of sleep that is in tune with the sun. And the easiest way to do this, since we are surrounded by this electric light all the time, the easiest way to do that is to put on blue blocking glasses when the sun goes down, or pretty much 8 p.m. every night as a standard feature of your day. Also, when you're sleeping in the bedroom, there should be no electric light at all unless it is like red or orange in color, like an orange nightlight or something like that. Okay, that would mimic the embers of a fire. We all used to sleep, our ancestors used to sleep next to the fire. In fact, and of course, since we would go to bed right after sundown, we would go to sleep soon after the sun went down, and we would wake up in the middle of the night and then tend the fire and maybe do some magic or have sex or do some other kind of activity like invoke the ancestors and speak to them, talk to spirit animals, things like that. And then we would go to sleep for a second shift. Okay, and all this time there would be no blue light going on. It also makes it important for you if you want to get in tune with the cycle of the sun. If you get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you want to make sure that your bathroom has a nightlight in it that is red or orange. Okay, and do not turn on any electric lights on the way to the bathroom. Okay, either that or just put on the blue blockers and go to the bathroom with the blue blockers on to block that blue light. Okay, because once you expose yourself to blue light, the melatonin production in your brain shuts down almost immediately. Yeah, so you don't even want to like grab your phone and look at it like, oh man, I just like impacted my brain with blue light and now the melatonin secretion has been shut off and it has to restart again. Okay, so now notice that the Four Adorations are a ritualistic way of attuning your body to the cyclic nature of the sun. Okay, interesting thing. Let's say if you were to put on blue blockers every night at 8 o'clock, you would start getting sleepy by about 8:30. You can fend that off. You can keep working and doing things, and that's fine because your brain is still producing melatonin even while you're awake, and that's going to guarantee you're going to have a pretty good sleep cycle. So maybe you'll be in bed by 10. Chances are you're going to be in bed by 9. The interesting thing about when you put on the blue blockers is that, like, many people think that, oh, I just don't have enough time to get things done. There's not enough time to sleep. Well, what you'll find is that when you put the blue blockers on, you start getting sleepy with the melatonin production going up, and you will come up with all kinds of rationalizations and excuses for going to bed. So this whole idea that we don't have enough time to sleep is just a made up. It's an illusion, basically. If your hormone secretion is healthy because you are now in sync with the sun, you're going to have plenty of time to sleep at night. And this is easier now than ever because it used to be that many of us would stay up to watch primetime television. Yeah, and that's blasting you with blue light. And then we wouldn't get very good sleep because of that. now there's no urge to really catch those primetime TV shows because everything is pretty much streaming now and you can watch things whenever. This makes it easier than ever before to go to bed shortly after the sun goes down and to wake up in the middle of the night, maybe putter around the house for a bit or do some magic, and then go back to sleep for your second shift. And lo and behold, the second shift is more likely than ever to contain lucid dreams. Yeah, because you've already been awake a little bit and you're going to drift back off to sleep. Your brain has probably already been through one good wash cycle with that melatonin production, and now it is primed and ready to blast off into the realm of dreams and hopefully lucid dreams, where you can go exploring the astral plane, take off and go flying. So sleeping in 2 shifts also is really good for developing the sleep pattern of our ancestors, our ancient ancestors, and for astral projection. Learning how to project astrally, the easiest way to do that is to practice lucid dreaming or take up the practice of inducing lucid dreams. And eventually you might be able to maybe take a power nap in the middle of the day and also astrally project during that time too. Okay, but you develop the ability to wake up in the midst of your dreams over time. Okay, some people are natural at it, but most of us have to learn. One of the most important ways to get there is to get in tune with the cyclical nature of the sun and develop a healthy sleep pattern. And the easiest way to do that is with the blue blockers. That's the primary way. Secondary way is to also get ritualistic about it, because then you can do the 4 adorations to tell yourself verbally when the sun is coming up, when the sun is at high noon, when the sun's setting, and when the sun is in the midnight witching hour. So you're always telling your body when these things are happening. Okay. The really interesting thing is if you wear blue blockers at night, let's say you put them on every night at 8, eventually you won't need to put on the blue blockers anymore, because your metabolism and your hormone production rhythm, your circadian rhythm, will just click in place with the sun. And what you'll find is that when the sun goes down, you begin to get sleepy and you begin to shut down. You begin to have a tendency to wake up in the middle of the night and maybe do a couple of things. And you have a tendency to wake up with the sun. Okay, or probably even before the sun starts to come up, because the hormone secretion, it's gearing up for the sun, because the body remembers when you wake up. Okay, so to get in tune with the sun, you actually over time will feel like your metabolism has clicked into place, and you won't necessarily need to use the blue blockers anymore unless you start to maybe I should correct that. This is the way I've experienced it, but in my home here, I have replaced most of the light bulbs with amber antique glow lights. I do have some fluorescent bulbs in a couple of places, in 3 places in the house, and I never turn those on after the sun goes down. I do turn them on in the morning. In fact, I even blast myself with fluorescent light in the morning to get a nice healthy dose of blue light. So what I've noticed is that in my home, I don't need to use the blue blockers anymore because I keep the fluorescent lights off during the night. Okay. In order to avoid blue light, you need to avoid looking at your cell phone, your smartphone. Okay. Unless you put on your blue blocking glasses, okay, and also to avoid blue light, you need to avoid LED lights. You need to avoid incandescent bulbs, which still exist, and you also need to avoid fluorescent lights. Okay, halogen lights, I think they're a thing of the past. They also have a lot of blue in them. There are no electric lights that really work very well as far as restricting the blue, unless they are tinted like antique glow amber colored lights or even orange or red lights. Okay. I think the best nightlight you can have, if you have a nightlight, is red. It might be counterintuitive because red is a triggering color for blood, spilling blood and things like that. But red mimics the glow of the campfire that our ancestors had at night, and that was the healthy sleep pattern. That was in tune with nature. Okay, so if you must have a nightlight, then use a red one or an orange one. Okay, and keep it dim, and you can even make it resemble the embers of a campfire, which would be nice. Okay, so the Four Adorations were an attempt by the Golden Dawn, pretty much to get people in tune with the cyclical nature of the sun. But the primary and better way of doing that actually is to put on blue blocking glasses at night. Okay, when the sun goes down or at 8 o'clock. If you get a pair of blue blocking glasses, when you put them on, these are not blue blockers. If they were blue blockers, they would look orange. Okay, when you put them on, if you look at that little LED light, like a power indicator on an electronic device, like a modem or something like that, not a modem, whatever you call those things. Yeah, the digital modems, or even my computer on/off button has a blue power button on it, a blue light on it. And when I put on the blue blocking glasses, I can't see that blue at all. It's gray, or it's completely snuffed out by that's the kind of blue blocking glasses you want, that completely block blue light. You can even wear them outside at night, go to restaurants wearing them, and rest assured your brain is going to be producing a healthy amount of melatonin in accordance with the sundown and sunup. Okay. And of course, if you go out at night with your blue blocking glasses, don't take them off temporarily. You need to keep them on and make sure. And they also should be the wraparound type that pretty much cover your eyes so you can't get blue light from the side. That's very strong. Okay. All right, so you can get in tune with the sun both scientifically using this biohack of the blue blocking glasses, and you can also get in tune with the sun ritualistically. Both of these are forms of technology that you can use to, once again, connect to a healthy circadian rhythm. Let me see if I have anything else to go over here. It might be worth considering why was it that in medieval times, why did the witch in town live on the edge of town? Why was she always like off next to the forest or something like that? One of the reasons is that the shamans were no longer allowed in civilized society. Shamans used to play a vital role for us when we were migrating tribes of cavemen, essentially. And the shaman was very good at keeping us connected with the earth and with the cycle of the sun and with the cycles of the moon and things like that. And as civilization developed, different shamans had different ideas about how to practice magic and what was taboo and what was not. And they fought with each other, and it was a bit of a pain. Eventually, the shamans were replaced by priests. Okay, and the priests were most of the priests were charlatans. They were pretty much appointed by the civil authorities to replace the more legitimate, more magical shaman. And guess what? The shamans were banished. They were either killed or banished. In other words, they went to the outskirts of the town or the city-state, and they lived in the woods. They lived in a liminal space away from the city, okay, but not too far away because they're human and they want to interact with other humans. And lo and behold, people would come to them and they would be sick. And the shaman would say, well, here's what you need to do. You need to sleep out under the stars. You need to take a freezing cold bath in the morning. Um, you need to perform adorations to the sun and the moon. And you need to not eat that crap you're eating back in your city-state lifestyle. I'm going to feed you stuff that I get from the forest, which is natural. And basically, the shaman's cure or the witch's cure was simply to expose you to the elements so you could get all those healthy signals again. Okay. And now it's more important than ever because we have electric lighting. And so now the witch or the sorcerer doesn't need to live on the edge of the town anymore, away from all the artificialness of civilization. We can perform biohacking tricks that still get us in tune with a healthy circadian rhythm. We can expose ourselves to heat and cold. We can take cold showers. We can go in the sauna. These are very important signals from the environment, and we'll be talking more about these later on. Just for now, we're talking about the importance of light and the signal that it sends to you so that you can detox your brain properly at night and experience lucid dreaming and astral projection like our ancestors used to experience all the time. All right. It's been a pleasure. Until next time.